I just really like that. I let that thing breathe for a while. I really like that song.
Well, it's our jingle. It's our last jingle for a little bit. So, yeah.
Welcome everybody to the. I think as much as I'm bummed about the Canucks being eliminated, I'm bummed about this being the last Pucks and Net postgame show.
Shoot.
Um, come one, come all. Let's get through this together. My name is Ryan Schapp. I'll be your host for the evening, coming to you from the room that we normally do podcasts in. And just about 90 feet away, maybe 100 feet away, is Arash from Mars today, the Prince of Pomegranate. Arash, I was thinking about it, and I'm glad that we had about 20 minutes to compose ourselves. But um, when it was 3-0 through much of this game, I was really dreading the fact that I would have to not only emote, I would have to contextualize through words how I was feeling, and that was a real challenge. And with that third period push, it's made it a little easier. Nobody's off the hook, but it was. This has been a tough weekend if you were a Vancouver Canucks fan.
I mean, yeah. I'm a bit more kind of balanced in my approach to how I'm viewing it. Obviously, I know the city, woke up after. Let's put it into context. It's been a decade of slumber for this fan base and this franchise, and we saw in a 2-round run how this city clamors for a winner, how it clamors for playoff success, how it clamors for um, a team that's as hardworking and as diligent as a lot of the people across the Lower Mainland. Um, my viewpoint after Game 6 and now Game 7, they could go off and Game 6 could have been their one gimme in the series. Game 7 to me, when I look down to it and I look at it in a total kind of perspective, it's just not good enough. It just wasn't. And
No,
those last two goals, you brought up the line off the hook, but like they can't go with 5 minutes left and then decide, okay, we're gonna charge now. Like Leon Draisaitl, I believe, had like 17 minutes. I'll look at the box score, but he had like 17 minutes ice time. This was Stuart Skinner. You guys could not muster up really any shots until like the tail end of the second period. I know everyone's going to look for in the injury updates and the emotional either high or low of the letdown of Brock Besser and everyone, but Ryan, I gave credit to the Edmonton Oilers saying that there's a difference between being a nuclear bomb and being one of the greatest nuclear bunkers ever. The Edmonton Oilers are a nuclear bomb in a game in which really Connor McDavid didn't register a point. Leon Draisaitl had under 18 minutes ice time.
17, yeah.
17. And so now you can't figure out, the way we get through to that is by literally shots. And the big kind of discussion is that we have to we might our high danger chances and we're getting stuff up, but we get it in the chat. They had a 4-minute power play. Special teams went out the window. 5-on-5
0 shots on goal. 4 minutes of 5 on.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for a special teams lineup that was absolutely nuclear starting this the season, that has the Norris Trophy, the more than likely the Norris Trophy winner on the blue line. We'll get into Pettersson discussions, I believe, probably in our main show, because it's just like I'm not going to rehash the same crap. Like good for Petey for being on a line with JT Miller and showing some bump. But if you need to have a line in which you need to be bumped up to JT Miller's line, that's a discussion we'll have later. Yeah, and I just think for all aspects, this was the one really big benefit and the one really big highlight that I can see with this team now is that the last two games really showed. I think for management and for the front office, we saw some shots of Patrick Alvan up there. I don't know where Jim Rutherford was. I just assume he was in his office on his Rolodex, like calling Don Waddell immediately and being like, "Listen, did you see that heroic goal? It was a bomb from the point." And just talking about Martin Niches, whatever. Um, but it really kind of went to show that there are certain people in this organization and on this team that are passengers, and some of them are drivers. I
Hmm.
thought an amazing game by Archer Shilovs, Ryan. I wow.
This is it's this series, this game. It it showed that there were two players on this team that came every night to do their best and to leave it all out there, and that was Artur Shilovs and that's Connor Garland. And it's hilarious to think that Connor Garland entered this season, him and his agent be having an opportunity to go and shop themselves to other teams, and now it's like I can't imagine where the Canucks would have been without Connor Garland. Like it's so
Mhm.
that's the human stuff that I absolutely love and adore in this game. But that's all there were, and it's a real kick in the bread box. It's a kick right in the balls when you watch 40 minutes, you watch 45, 50 minutes of this team. And my own thought is the only thing I think of is like this team's got to be so hurt. They can't move their feet. They're fumbling the pucks. They are gingerly, they can't cross the offensive zone. Like they're trying to avoid getting hit. I'm like, they must be really hurt if they can't muster up anything. And it pisses me off that this team gets one and any lingering injury disappears and they become a brand new team. They become a team of like, and we've talked about it all series. Like this happened. Like do the Canucks need to score in the first minute to have any fighting chance in a game? Like as soon as like they're just so full of self doubt when they don't believe in them, they have no confidence. The second
Mm.
they score a goal, the second they show like, oh wow, we can do this. We know how to do this. It's a night and day team, and I don't mean, and it's like the entire roster is a night and day roster.
Mm.
It shows how fragile they are and how inexperienced they are, and I'm hoping something, I hope that changes going forward. But it shows an immaturity that I hope that they take a lot from this run in this series, and they take a lot from the games they won, but they take even more from the games they lost, because they lost some games by playing. They won some games and they lost some games by playing 40 minutes, by not playing for 40
Yeah.
minutes, and
Yeah.
it's fudging, frustrating, and a half. And
Yeah.
if they lost this game 4-0, and there was the "Go Canucks Go" chant for the final 5 minutes, which I was kind of thinking there would be. I figured this team is absolutely broken. They're held together by duct tape. They're tore it all up like they're RK-17, and it wasn't the case. And then you say, well, where was this? Where was this when you were scared shitless to cross the red line, scared shitless to cross the center line, to drum up any opportunity? Where was this in a 4-minute power play that spanned 2 periods where you can't get a single shot on goal? It's annoying that it's a mental game. It's annoying that it's whether they're sticking to Rick Tockett's plan or whatnot. It's frustrating as hell that this happens the way it does consistently, and it happened consistently in this playoff run. And it's just, at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, they're going to learn so much from this. I always think back to the first year that Kane and Taves, Seabrook and Keith made the playoffs, and they challenged right away. They challenged Detroit in the West Final, and they were close. They got sniffed to the cup. And I'm like, and they made a commercial about it, but it's like they learned so much from that. To quote Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, I'm not a pessimist. I'm an optometrist, and I'm And I am optimistic that they're going to take that from this series, from this run, and that's what I'll hang this hat on. But at the same time, the passengers in this on this team, I don't know if it's going to be that easy of a learning curve for them. But my TLDR, it shouldn't take you this long to figure out how to play a game and how to play the Oilers and how to play Stuart Skinner. And man, you really took too long to figure that out in Game 7.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, Ryan. Everything you said, completely astute. It's the fact that they found out 6 minutes with 6 minutes left in the third. Oh, so you mean if we shoot and we get pucks on net?
Pucks. What?
If we say it again?
Wait, what?
What? Is this a post game show?
Wait, you can do that?
You can do that. It's wild, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He's the modern day Dan Cluche. You look at the numbers and the soft goals he's given. It's crazy that the number one thing wasn't hey, just pepper him, make him have to make a save. Don't try and find like it was great. Like Garland, Garland gets a slot opportunity. That's great. Hronek is a blast from the point. Hronek is another discussion. Oh my god! But but no, the points you're making are really astute, Ryan. In that, like if this was a 4-game sweep, that's one thing. You got them to 7. You got this series in which every single person beyond Ryan S. Clark, bless him, said that this was pretty much a rout. And then you turn this into a Game 7 winner takes all kind of scenario. And then it's like you just didn't learn your lesson. And I would love to talk talk to someone a bit more kind of in depth about is this like a systems issue? Like the power play with the drop pass has to be like, I don't know, if you find Newell Brown and you just like you go and you're like, listen, why did you invent the drop pass? I hate the drop pass on the power play. Me and all my homies hate the drop pass on the power play. All these things, right? And it took too long for them to kind of figure this stuff out. And I think that's Canucks fans, if you're in the postgame show right now, I feel like you should be a little pissed off. As much as I want to tell people and you should be proud and hang your hat, this was a really big missed opportunity by this team. And it shouldn't, this isn't a situation in that I don't even think experience, like people want to talk about experience, about how this team doesn't have experience. Well, they actually do. JT Miller's been part of the New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Elias Pettersson's went through the SAHL playoffs and was the MVP there. And they've had the bubble run. And they've played for their international teams. Ian Cole has Stanley Cup rings. Tyler Myers has been in the playoffs. Philip Hronek, I don't know if Philip Hronek. Elias Lindholm had a great run. Like, they have experience, and just the thing that drives me nuts is that we it's like this team, this collective of players as the Vancouver Canucks don't have playoff experience, but the players as singular people do. So you can't just be like, well, it's an experience thing. No, they knew what the situation was, and a couple things that I took off, Ryan, is that. Yeah, it's the lack of urgency, also the total lack of team speed, Ryan. Yeah. The total lack of speedy wingers that are able to corral pucks and attack through the neutral zone into the offensive zone with speed. They don't have, like, I can't. Right? Was there a breakaway at any point for the Vancouver Canucks
in the series, in the playoffs?
Like maybe in the playoffs there was, but in the series, like there's no separation speed, and that's what I think one of the things this team is probably going to work on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ryan, I agree with all the points you made. It's just crazy it's just crazy it took them this long to like figure out in a Game 7, shots against this guy works, and it was the thing that pissed me off. Sorry, and I'll throw it back to you.
No, keep going.
Is that they did this again. They did this 5-minute cardiac kid or comeback thing. They're doing it again. I'm like, this is boring. This is old.
Yeah.
Why just do this in the other 55 minutes? Or you know what? The thing is the game of hockey is a push and pull. It's momentum. You can't have a 5 good minutes in a 60-minute game
No, and
keep expecting to win.
you also can't play terrified against a team that every time you've won in this series, it's because you're not afraid of them and you can do pressure with pressure. And it's like, you learned this in game 1, you learned this in game 3, you learned it in game 5. And I remember the first period where Kevin Bieksa is like, man, it looks like they're giving their opponents a bit too much credit. And the second they changed that, they were lights out against them. And it's like, why haven't you figured that out? Like, what are you afraid of? Like, Connor McDavid's hurt. Yeah, there's Leon and McDavid, but like, have the guts to pressure to the an offensive opportunity. Don't just sit there and dump it in and change because it's the long con. And hell, they almost tied it up, but they didn't. So the long con didn't work.
Yeah, and the thing is that they give you this fugazi thing where it's like, well, the game was closer than we thought. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Like it's just, this game was totally different if you just you do get, we keep saying it, you get pucks on net, man. And yeah, maybe some of them are floaters. Some of them are perimeter shots, but you're not talking about prime Martin Brodeur, prime Dominic Hasek.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even talking about Grant Fuhr. Literally, the Oilers organization and their fans, their number one fear was, oh God, we have to play Stuart Skinner, or oh God, they've chosen to play Stuart Skinner.
Yeah,
and you did not attack that weakness. I'm not talking about 40 shots. I understand that in a full understanding. But yeah, it's just wild. And so we looking into what's going to happen, right, Ryan, with in terms of passengers. We talked about that. There are 9 UFAs, 2 RFAs, and 20 if you take Pullman's, I believe, Pullman's LTIR with 2.5, which insane that we're still talking about Tucker Pullman, Jim Benning. Just wow. You're looking at $27 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to throw this to you because I'm really curious what your answer to this would be. If they didn't lose game 6 and 7 the way that they did, like if it was more like, okay, they actually put in the effort and they just got really, but the way they lost these last 2 games, does that give you any change in terms of, the conversation was before, oh, we bring Myers back. Oh, we maybe Ian Cole. Oh, do we give Lindholm a contract like this? Does that change where you kind of look in the passenger side and say, okay, this is a more deeper house cleaning. This is a more of a with the opportunity they have with OEL's buyout, recapture happening, and whatever. I don't know where your vibes are with that, Ryan.
I don't know, and
yeah, it's tough to throw that in terms of a future facing thing. I didn't want to do that, but in terms of your feeling for the last 2 games,
it's because again, if they lost game 6 and game 7 in complete 60-minute efforts, you would want you would look at their roster and be like, there's a lot that needs to be preserved going forward. But when you see this type of 5-minute guns blazing approach to hockey that's not sustainable in the playoffs or the regular season, and it stinks like shit when it doesn't work in the postseason, you think that there's a lot of good things on this team, and there's a lot of, hey, what's our other sweetener to get one or two of these guys out of here? And it's a challenge to hang your hat on the positives of this series and this run when the negatives are so glaring. And when some of your best players. I'm holding out my, we've talked about this, so I'm holding out my judgment until I find out
Yeah.
how hurt some of these guys are. But it's forever.
I mean, yeah, I mean, sorry to interrupt, but like, I don't think this is the thing. I don't think, like, beyond, I don't think anyone's going to come and say we tore both our quads trying to enter the arena a la Vince McMahon. I think
For
they're going to,
sure.
there might be one person, like the one person is like Philip Peronic, who might say, yeah, I screwed up my shoulder or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
and I
yeah.
just, and I don't want to be. I always remember there was a video. There's a Boston Red Sox call-in show, and they won the World Series, and a guy called in to complain about how they operated their bullpen, and they're like, "You just won, like, can you not take a couple minutes to process this?" So like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go too ham on this, but like, there are a lot of glaring pieces. There are a lot of like, this is the Ian Cole series. Every game
Oh
was
my
bad for
god,
him.
dude, that Brett Kulak chance at the start, where I know it's the rebound and everything, and whatever, and great saves by Artie, but I was like, I saw Ian Cole, I'm like, do they just not get the juju, man? Like, like, just for the love of God, But good for Artie for making that save there. Just like kind of going through points, yeah, the double minor and just like literally declining a power play. You should decline a power play at that point. You can't get it in, and Connor Brown of all people gets a breakaway the other way. Um, is brutal. You have PDG missing a chance there in the third, and just yeah, and just the wheels came off a little bit, and then the Oilers knew that was the thing that I think that was the thing that I just I didn't see this comeback coming or really happening, is that I saw Draisaitl and Connor's minutes,
Yeah,
and I just said, what, like, they made it 3-0 without these guys pushing on their hit emergency nuclear button.
yeah,
I'm like,
and
I
it was
just thought,
tough. It
like,
was really tough to see that.
yeah, it was tough. So, in also, I'll just say this, like, it's tough seeing another team's best players be their best players, and then seeing
Yep.
our best players just not be our best players. I give a pass to Quinn Hughes, just even with injury. Like, I just think he does so much on the ice. It's insane. JT Miller, throughout the entire playoffs has been great. I'm sure he wants to be better. EP40 is EP40, that we have all summer to talk about that.
Let's
Elias Lindholm. I mean, Elias, listen, a couple bright spots. Like, who knew that all Elias Lindholm literally needed was like 10 games to rehab an injury, and then he had a great playoff, and
I
great move
love
by them.
I love Elias Lindholm, and that's going to be one. That's a player I'd love to invest in, but there's
Yeah.
other things that need to happen before you can.
What a trade it would have been if they were able to put in Mikheyev instead of Kuzmenko in the Calgary deal. Oh no, I don't want to start that. Just, they needed goals. I know you need to put someone at the
Brother, you don't need goals. You need shots.
You need shots. I know everyone's talking about who do you put out the end of the
Fucking
ice
Willie
with 5 minutes
Mitchell
left?
could get
Dude,
shots, more shots on goal than this team.
Go off, Ryan. I feel like you like just you. I'll tell you from my perspective. From chatting, you've been really great about being rational and just keeping your stuff, within the context of games and everything. But yeah, like, it's fucking crazy. I'm sorry to swear, but like, it's feeble in a game 7 to do this. It's feeble and it sucks. And it's a really wasted opportunity, massively wasted opportunity. And I hope they go and get speed. I hope they go and address this stuff. I believe in Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvan because I feel like they're stone cold killers.
Yeah.
And they know. Like, they know.
It's there was no do or die from this team. There was, if we do, we're gonna die because McDavid and Draisaitl will escape past us on a 2-on-1 and score. And when it just have some, where's your Mark Messier quote? Put your balls on the front of the jersey.
Well, it was just like in this.
Do
that's
something.
The other thing. Pal,
Fight for it. Fight for it.
Do something. That's the thing. Is like this wasn't the Tampa Bay Lightning who are like, we have the lead and now we are going to play our system because we're the Tampa Bay Lightning and I'm Victor Hedman and this wasn't that. And you made them look like these defensive stalwarts and these defensive gods on a team in which they are literally afraid to put Darnell Nurse, their $9 million defenseman, and Cody Ceci. Cody Ceci gets a goal. Okay, great point shot. You know, that's one of Artie's things that he has to work on in the offseason. It's just frustrating. It's just maddening that like you couldn't this is the way the game played out. It's maddening that this is the way the game played out, and you just couldn't go and get some shots on net. And this dump and chase thing, I
saw somebody, I think it might have been Lachlan, talking about how Tocchet coached the Coyotes, and I saw the similarities. But like you saw early on in Game 7, the super short shifts, the dump, and then like you're getting hemmed into your own zone, but like you're not taking any effort whatsoever to get it into the offensive zone and contain it. Like one of the best things about the Canucks in this playoffs in the Edmonton series was it would be annoying the way they would try to attack the zone, but they would keep possession. And like they are very good at keeping that possession and keeping control of it. So it's frustrating to watch, but they're not, when they're not chasing the puck or chasing the play nearly as much as they are, which is a positive. But man, like it just looks like you're just sitting there humming and hawing and you don't have a clue of what to do when you cross the offensive zone. Everybody in here, if you could like this video, if you could also give us a subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. We've had a lovely little run through the postseason here. I will say this, and I don't want to. One of the hundreds of people that were mad at me for saying the Edmonton Oilers. That Edmonton was conservative and had a polluted riverbank and got really mad at me, and I had civil conversations with them. One of them, probably the angriest, who I actually made amends with in the replies, and they felt really apologetic, sent me a message, sought me out, and said, "Hell of a series, great series, well fought, like all the best."
That's one of the funnier things is that I actually have not had a toxic interaction with an Oilers fan today, and part of it might be the broadcasters thing, but I think part of it is also like, and I think maybe this is something that Canucks fans should take on, is that when your teams are facing off against each other, you have to dish it and take it, and at the end there comes this kind of understanding that it's like, hey, like it's part of the thing. We can't play hockey against each other, but we can spar words and we can spar things. And at the end, hopefully, you kind of get together. That's the other that's the other kind of silver lining is the Twitter handshake line. So great. I'm just going to go and I'm going to go find Jim Matheson and be like, good Jim. Hey, Spec, can I talk to you for a second? Kind of go like that. Yeah, no, that's the other thing, right? It's the silver lining for your wedding. The thing is dead. I'm so glad for you. We don't have to worry. It's going to be Mika Zibanejad raising the cup. It's going to be fine.
That's going to be Ola Uelevi for the Florida Panthers. Oh, I mean Matthew Tkachuk.
Oh,
all right, let's go.
We're going down sad memory lane, aren't we? What, Matt Tkachuk? How good would he have been in this series?
Let me just go to some quotes here. Our babyface owner Francesco Aquilini, who made all his money back from COVID. Kudos to you.
Good for him.
You made we'll talk about the Canucks in a second. They've warmed me out. They've won me over with a couple things. Aquilini, what an amazing season we had. The grit, tenacity, and resilience. I'm proud of our team. Thank you, Jim, Patrick, Rick, blah, 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 blah. Nothing there. He hashtag thank you, Jim.
No, he didn't.
I'm not shitting you.
No, he didn't.
Arash, do not look
He
it out.
didn't.
Do not look it out. Wait here. I'm screenshotting it. Holy
There's
shit.
no way he did this.
Arash?
There's no way he summoned Jim Benning out of the primordial ooze.
Guys.
Okay, can I say something? Can I just say something? I think this is. I said it before. I'll say it again. This is the greatest babyface turn I've ever seen from anyone in my life. Like, knowing all the things I unfortunately have heard about Francesco Ecclini, this as just a optic, like your Strombone 1 awareness of who you are. Hilarious. And it's going to be thank you, Jim, because we're going to trade for Nick Ehlers, and that'll make up for the Jake Virtanen thing. It'll be fine, and everyone will be happy. Everything great. Ryan, holy shit, he actually hashtag thing. What is this world we live in? This is crazy. Whoever's managing his social media, like, I don't know if it's like his nephew or something, but amazing. Amazing. This is how he endears himself. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's insane.
Okay, let me go back to the quotes. Patrick Johnson, he asked Artur Shilov's post game if he wanted to chat. He looked at me with a pretty sad face and wished out no, not tonight. Bachelor talk from Talk It. We talked. Who's speaking right now?
I don't know. Someone outside is probably just
Dries. Oh, those are Oilers. I thought it was McDavid for a second, or I thought it was Hughes. Rick Talkett.
Just went 1 sec. Hi, Travis. Just to let you know that the hashtag Thank You Jim was a giant meme made by a broadcaster talking about Jim Benning. Not Jim.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Travis.
Roger also was saying, what's the deal with that? And it's when Jim Benning was still here, they're like, can we have a thank you, Jim?
Who was it?
James Sabalski.
Oh, Sabalski. All right.
Talkett.
Yeah, that was great.
We talked about this for a year and a half. You have to be comfortable in close games. This team grew in those kind of situations. Sure, that's true. Stitches inside and outside of Pettersson's lip. It was an ugly cut. Told him and Daniel Wagner he needed about 5 jabs of freezing before they sewed him back up in the intermission. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Talk It. I thought there were stretches in the second where we were good. We just missed the net. I disagree. We were off our execution. I agree. The second half of the game, I was really proud. I'm not proud of the first. That was my DVD director commentary there. And finally, Rick Talkett on losing Besser. I think that 4-minute power play, we lost a little juice. We lost some energy because of it.
Yeah, everyone did. It was the most demoralizing. It was insane. How? Like, I don't like this it's a part of this where I'm like, I really hope Dan and Hank like have just had enough time to marinate where they can just be like, yeah, we'll just run the power play from upstairs.
Yeah. Well, they were running.
I'm begging you. Oh.
They do power play too. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. I knew about I knew about them doing PP2, but I was like, literally just as a total thing. Man, just like the drop passes was killing me, and like at least that's the thing is like they need someone with actual speed, like puck carrying speed, to have a couple different looks on how they enter the offensive zone on a power play.
Yeah.
And it was just, man, how they got out of the first period alive was a stretch enough, but then it turned into 3-0 and you're like, okay. And then they score 2 goals and it's like, I was like, why are you doing this?
I honestly thought they were going to win.
In my mind, I was like, there's no way. I'm like, then they're going to go into overtime. And then what's going to happen? It's David and Draisaitl for every other shift. Like,
no, they would have won. That was my thought.
I'll say another positive came to my mind. Man, Connor Garland. He has to have a letter on his jersey. I think
He does.
no one, um, on this roster, these playoffs, endeared themselves to this market. Like people were warming back up to him, but
Yeah.
just in terms of these are the playoffs, and you're wondering who shows up, Connor Garland's that guy. He showed up. He showed up all playoffs, and just like hashtag thank you Jim. Like if that was the actual deal there, we probably gave up a bit too much to get him, but at the same time, a really great piece and still relatively young and moving forward. He's another one of those guys that you don't have to worry about, and when the battle gets hard, like he's going to be there and he's going to give you that effort. When I look up and down this roster, Ryan, just off the top of my head, I know people are going to look at Ian Cole and a few of the our UFAs, such as Sam Lafferty. Dakota Joshua kind of fell off a little bit. I found outside of game one.
I feel like he must have been hurt. He was.
Well, we'll see. Listen, we'll see. But I think as a total 13 game experience, I think there was one or two games where he was noticeable, and then after that it kind of fell off. Ilya Mikheyev, I think I know the meme is he hasn't scored in 60 games, and maybe he just needs another kind of off season to kind of reassess and rehabilitate, because he is coming off of pretty serious injury, and the recovery period for, I think it was his MCL or ACL.
ACL.
Yeah. So the recovery period to like get back to full range is like 1.5, 2 years. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if they have the assets to move off that contract, but they also have a lot of UFAs, and they do have two RFAs, one in Archer Shilovs, whom, damn, man, like, just damn, that kid showed up. That kid played his heart out. He was great. And then, and Philip Hronik, whom you cannot give a contract to that. Like, the contract he's looking for. He's looking to cash in. You can't give him that contract.
Yeah.
He's not, because you're going to give him that contract, and then what's going to end up happening is you're going to say, well, we have our number two. You don't. He's not the two. Like, the stat that blew my mind that I looked up was, in the last 30 games, including playoffs and regular season, stapled to Quinn Hughes 5-on-5. Now taking 31 because he got a goal tonight. But so let's say last 31 games, 1 goal, 4 assists, -4, depending what his plus minus is after this game.
I like what he does playing with Quinn Hughes, but you need a little bit more out of it. Like, it was kind of the big what if is of who's gonna, how are they gonna make that work? And I really like them together. And I'm not ready to ship him out of town, but he's also not going to be making nearly as much as at the peak of Hronik mania.
It was Hronik mania in this.
It was, and it was like, we have so many things that will be rich forever. ASDF. I didn't know an ACL was a hands injury. I wanted to make that joke, but I let a rash have his runway.
See, Andy has a great thing with Tanev. And now it's
also, can everybody like this video and subscribe? Just fucking like it. It's game 7. I'm going to look at this right now. Like, what? Like, I'm just fucking like the stupid video. There's 25 people watching right now, and I got 14 likes. Get this up to 20.
Oh,
you know how much work we put into this thing?
You know how much work Ryan has to put up with me? Literally, I'm the most high maintenance co-host in the history of high maintenance co-hosts.
He's never on time.
I'm never on time. I want a cappuccino all the time. I'm always perpetually late.
I think I'm losing likes now.
I'm taking my podcast amazing. Matt, boo. How dare you?
Okay, we've got 2 subscribers today. God damn it.
What do you think? You're doing fine. Let the internet be the internet.
Here, let me.
We love you. But sorry, to quickly touch on it. It's just that, like, Yeah, he's not going to be that guy. And now, kind of the interesting thing kind of coming in is that you have all this cap space and you have all this space to play and figure out what you want to do and how you want to go about things. Um, and the last thing, going into next season, I'll subscribe when Mikheyev scores. Fuck.
Patreon.com. Just go to Patreon. Give us some money instead.
It's fine.
Patreon.com/Pucks on that.
It's fine. The crazy thing is that next season now you're going to see Jonathan Lekkerimäki. He's going to have his pro season. Tom Lander has another year, and you're going to kind of get into this situation now in the next few years where you're not going to worry about, like, Tom Lander's going to come in and be a top 4D right-handed defenseman for you for like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to worry about it. Jonathan Lekkerimäki is going to come in and give him a bit more time to get bulked up, have more access to the per game, work down in Abbotsford. That guy's going to be your grip it and rip it guy.
Yeah.
So it's not all doom and gloom, but Patrick Alvan and Jim Rutherford do have a lot of work ahead of themselves, and they do have a little bit of a blank canvas here to really kind of reassess and figure out what they want to do.
Agreed. I think what pissed me off the most.
Yeah, go. I want to. I love it when we get chatting with each other about what's pissing us off about our days. That's the best thing about us our parents.
Is I knew they were going to lose today, and there was this dread there's this dread as Canucks fans, and it's lingering and it's there and it's ghosts of Christmas past, and I'm like, fuck that. I don't think they will, but I had intense deja vu of the 2011 finals, where you're up 3-2, you win game 5, you lay an absolute egg in game 6. I'm like, well, don't worry, there's this, there's X, and there's Y, and there's Z. It annoys me and it pisses me off that dread is still real and still alive. And because this cardiac kid team has shown all playoffs and all season that they can get it done. And I really wanted them to get it done because I think collectively this fan base knew that if the Canucks won, they would lose to Dallas or they would be completely outmatched, and that's fine. But they wanted this win. And I wanted that dread, that anticipation for disappointment to be a figment of my imagination and to be something of yesteryear. And it's not.
Yeah.
And it's still there. This deep-rooted insecurity of this fan base remains. And as cool as everybody's been, honoring the team and accepting them for who they are and the show of support at the end, it annoys me that I knew that this was going to happen because of what happened in Game 6 and I knew after they couldn't score 4 on the double minor and they couldn't get a shot. Fuck me, they couldn't score. They couldn't get a shot on goal. As soon as I knew they couldn't get a shot on goal in the double minor, I'm like, it's not happening, because there is the wave pool effect is happening. And it's barely happening. It's not happening from McDavid. It's McLovin showing himself in the offensive zone, and I knew it wasn't going to happen. And it's just it annoys me and it pisses me off that we can go that it's still a real feeling. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of the dread, and I'm just I did my best to block it out, but you still know that it's kind of like this is and I hate that it's the Canucks. It's the Canucks of all generations, and the Canucks are going to Canuck. But it fucking pisses me off that we got to keep thinking like that.
Yep. I will completely agree with what you're feeling and saying. I understand. I think part of what drives the anger here is that they showed you they could play different. They showed you they could actually turn it on. They can put it on, the gas pump. Game 5. It's crazy.
Best
Game
game they
5 was
played in the
like
playoffs.
best game. And it's like you give 70% of that tonight?
Like
Like
what?
we're talking about you're cooking with something. But this team, when it comes to situations like this, and I think within people in the chat talking about experience, I think you have to go through periods like this to understand what the problem is. And I think if there's two people that I really, from the way they've reconstructed this roster, maybe it's because I put my finger on my throat. If there's two people that I think really understand and get it, it's Alvan and Rutherford and everyone
Yeah.
else upstairs. And that they know if they find what a problem is, they don't wait and just hope that they can fix it. They'll go and fix it. We saw with depth stuff, like the Talkit comes and says, I need someone to take a right hand trust, Lafferty.
Yeah.
I need another guy in the top 4 that gives Snarl, Zadorov. We need a backup goalie that isn't Spencer Byrne, Casey DeSmith. Like they'll go and they'll get that figured out. I think the things that showed up were gave them a list of certain players that maybe they're not going to bring back, that they need to find a more dynamic set of players to come in terms of team speed,
Yeah.
team speed, team speed, team speed. I'm begging you, team speed, for the love of God, find some players that can skate and handle the puck and don't
Ilya
just
Mikheyev.
Yeah, but okay. It's team speed, and it's just kind of being just figuring out how to bring the tempo of the team a bit higher, and just kind of figure that out from there. So yeah, Ryan, I totally get it, and it sucks that, like, I think as a fan base, it's like, oh, we're still just the Canucks. We're still like the Canuck, and you really wish that every year that goes by that we can wash the other way. I will say with this year, though, dude, Ryan, I'm saying this honestly, like, we were mired in the muck for 10 years, dude. You've done this show for how long?
Yeah.
Like, for 13, 14 years now, I think.
No, 10.
Nah, 19 years.
Feels like it feels like 40.
You've been doing it for 47 years. And of how many of those episodes were actually covering a good, fun, competent team? And now we finally, like, it's Andy Dufresne getting out of the tube of shit, and finally the rain is washing things off. And yeah, it wasn't this year. It wasn't, they got, ooh, my ring light died. It wasn't to, game, to the highest extent and kind of desire that they wanted to, but they got to game 7 in round 2. It sucks that they let it slip the way that they did, but you know what? I just feel like they're going to come back and they're going to figure it out, and they're going to make some really cool moves. And I'm really excited for the offseason. They're going to do great things at the draft. Oh, wait, they don't have a first round pick. Oh, and
Arash, why don't you fix your ring light, and I will.
My ring light's fine. I got it.
Man, I gotta tell you, everybody. Like I've been joking with Amanda that, like, the Canucks picked a horrible time to get good. If we're not doing the post game show and watching a playoff game, we're doing wedding stuff, and it's all on front of mind. So there's a lot of big feelings happening around here right now, and I felt the nervousness and the anticipation of this game maybe like 2:00 today, and just was like, oh man, I just want it to be 9:00. I just want this game to be over with so I can figure out the outcome. And I just got really amped up around 5:45. I started listening to like Canucks, like songs that remind me of the Canucks and the songs that remind me of, you know, growing up. And like I was a bundle of nerves, and I was emoting in so many ways because, I want the Canucks to keep going. I want our moral victory, and um to beat the Oilers. And you just yeah, the Canucks have been bad for 10 years. I've been watching this team and being a fan since I was a child. I'm a we're we come from the our parents are the baby boomer generation. We only know how to emote to our fathers through the shitty sports team um that we cheer for. And like I was a mess, and I was kind of given some space, and I'm sure Amanda's hearing this through the door and will be jealous that she missed it. But like there were parts of the before the game started that I just wanted to like burst into tears. Like I was emoting so many different things, and I can't tell you if it was positive or if it was a negative. Um, but it takes something out of you. It conjures up something, these big feelings, and it was, it was preparation for the next month and we get married. But like, goddamn, if I wasn't just thinking of so many memories growing up of following this team with friends, with my dad, and with everybody, and these experiences you have, and they just like, no matter how many times you've done this or how many times you've had that callus of heartbreak and misery and despair, you just like you come right back to it and you start over, and you think, well, this could be, I don't know, it's like those disappear and you become your formative self, and you be like, I don't know, you become a 15-year-old of how to emote and how to go through these things. And it was a very special playoff.
That's amazing. That is. I'm screenshotting this. Wow. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my. Oh my God, that's so good. Holy shit.
But somebody texted me and said that ASDF guy makes a lot of good points, and I couldn't help but agree.
So good.
But man, like it.
Ryan's like pouring his heart out and like actually getting on like this roll, and I'm like, yeah, man, go for it. I get there. And then someone drops a fucking banger like that. This is why you gotta love this fan base, right?
And I love it, and I think I know who that person is, and they are somebody I love and respect them so much. But there's just something that getting in that zone of cheering for this team, and like being able to have the same conversations with your, you know, texting with my dad just 4-letter words, and complaining about the Canucks, and then him, like he sent me a text at the end of the game and just said, there's always next year, and he said it with he said it with he put an emoji on it, like he was fucking around. But like one of my most like saddest experiences was after they blew it against Minnesota in 2003, and I was 16 or so. Let me do some math. No, I would have been 15. And like that was my first real Canuck heartbreak. And as I was picking up the fucking playoff towels and the bobbleheads I got from Authentics and my jersey, and like, I had to bring them down, put them on the coffee table in the same spot for every game. He says that in jokes, and I was like, God, that's not funny. Like that's, fuck, that's callous and that's cold. And then so for him to say that again today just kind of puts so much into perspective, that you're following this team as your whatever version. And even Amanda joked that I was wearing my Pedersen jersey, and I Bret Hart rally shorts, and she's just like, oh, that's the 15-year-old. Like, I'm seeing the boy,
Yeah.
and that's what makes sports special, and that's what makes
Sports. Have you
this
seen
run
how
so
do
special.
I have to get my Pokemon cards out? What are you just sports? It's we're me and you. Man, what a ride. What a ride.
I'll compare it like this, like during the bubble when we heard Jim Houston call the Canucks games, and he's like, great, and oh god, and he's like, great save, Demko, and I'm like, oh man, like I've heard him like do that for Kluche and Luongo, and now he's doing it with Demko, and I'm a grown ass man, and I'm
Mhm.
feeling the same way, and it's just so special. And then
Yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah.
and
This is what it's about. This is what it's about, isn't it? Is it? I'll ask you, Rye. Is it good to like? For so long, we went, I think, within this fan base without feeling anything.
yeah,
We didn't feel anything. It was the same crap year after year, embarrassment after public embarrassment, and then finally, after being like locked in a padded room in a dark padded room, we're feeling something again. And man, it's such a special thing. Even in a loss, it's such a special thing. And seeing about how far we've come. Like you talk about Jim Houston, man, like it's that thing where it's about where the streets have no name. It's us talking to our parents about, their memories, like talking to my mom about her wondering where Corey Perry is and where Kessler is and what happened to these guys, what happened to that guy. It's also hard talking to our parents, Ryan, about this stuff, and us being I think the guiding vestiges for them in this, because you and I are pretty privileged, I'd like to think, about how we get to cover this team, in our position. We have half a foot in the door, to a place where we hear things and we're able to have a lively discussion about things. And our parents, my parents are in their 70s, and this run happened, and I was like, maybe, like, could this, like, maybe. And we this is the price we have to pay. This is the price we have to pay for loving something so intensely, like we love this sport, and how much not only do we love the sport and how we watch it, but how we as a tribe tell ourselves that this is our team. We are unwavering. We're silly in that, Ryan, we could be like a predominant um Tampa Bay Lightning podcast. We why don't we just do that and make life easier on ourselves? But we don't. And to the people watching and listening, you guys are part of the tribe. You guys are part of this group. We're here. We don't get to pick and choose. We don't get to follow the best players and just LeBron James it and just say I'm a Lakers fan now. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Charlie. Oh, Matt Kerr is never gonna talk to me again. I swear to God. But yeah, like I get it. It's the history, and it's good to feel something, right? It's finally good to feel something again when that isn't abject apathy and horror, isn't it?
it's big feelings, man. It's big
Yeah, big
feelings.
feelings, buddy.
Um, it sucks that Brock Besser couldn't play.
Oh, dude, this is it.
That's heartbreaking.
It's, man, what what a just an intense last few years for this guy. Like, great year this year. Wow, reaching like, forget 30. The man crushed it at 40 goals.
Yeah,
Great for him. I hope he gets back to where he needs to get to. I hope he plays for the Canucks next year. We don't, with this stuff we don't know, but I hope he has a good off season. And just from I look back, Ryan, from where like our podcasts were at the start of the year and where our
Mm-hmm.
shows were at the start of the year, comparative to where they are now. Like this is a completely different franchise now, isn't it? This is a totally different franchise to where it was at the beginning of the year in terms of how people perceive the Canucks, how fans believe in the Canucks, how the players, like Quinn said, got talk came and helped us get the stink out, in
Yeah.
that aspect. Um, just yeah, man, it's a really great stepping stone year, and I have full faith in the management group that they watched the game tonight. They watched. They're not gonna say they're not gonna do the Matthews Marner Tavares thing and just be like, yeah, we'll just run it back and we'll
Check out
just
the
go back.
box score. It was actually pretty close when you think about it.
That's dude, they're not like they're man, they're ruthless. Like they're ruthless. I know I look at them and I'm like from the moment they were here, from like even like I'll bring this up, like the Ethan Bear deal. I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense for like a stopgap. Now I know the OEL buyout's gonna be here, but they got space to work with here. I'm really excited to see, especially considering the cap is going up, and that means all the other teams are going to be playing ball as well now. It's not just
Yeah.
one. I'm really excited to see this offseason what they do. But until then, um, yeah, man, it's good to feel something. It's good to feel this. I know I would rather feel the sting of eternal defeat than the sting of eternal apathy. Apathy sucked, Ryan. Apathy sucked. It killed my love for this sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe some of the people that some of our friends that cover this team professionally that had to come in and watch the dog days of the Michael Delzados and the Jason Megnas and the Michael Chapoos and the Louis Ericksons and the Jay Beagles and the Antoine Roussel out of the 1 year. It's great that this team matters to this city the way that it does again. I'm so happy for that.
And
Off the
it
ice.
it felt like it was that this market wanted to kind of love this team again.
Yeah.
And it took that one road viewing game at Rogers Arena where it's just like, oh man, people want to cheer
People want this.
and feel it together, and
Yeah.
they created a vibe there. And I don't know, like felt like it took 15 minutes, and it was a place to
Yeah.
be. And I don't know, I just think there was a belief in the players, and there was a belief in this captain, and it's jury's still out on Pedersen, but like to see this market just like eat their own words and be like, yeah, we were wrong about JT Miller, and we absolutely love you, and you're the exact type of player that should be, leading us into the charge. Like, it was special to see. And to see Brock Besser, like two the motherfucker scored two hat tricks in the playoffs.
Crazy.
And you see Connor Garland being the most significant player you got, and it to see what this turned into was, and just the buy-in, like it just changed the way the fans looked at this team. Like, it's just
It's
it's
cool.
beyond
It's
special.
cool. It's cool to have Canucks merch. It again in the city. It's cool to put your car flag up. It's cool to say that you're a Canucks fan again.
You know what's
And
cool?
that's what mattered.
If you asked me today, if our baby face Aquilini said, "What jersey do you want the Canucks to wear full time going forward, skate or Orca?" I would vote Orca. They made, and it's just like Talk had said, they put respect back in that jersey and in this city. I didn't want. I love my Quinn Hughes skate jersey, and I love how what a throwback that skate is. But like, fuck me if the Vancouverless Orca is not beautiful and meaningful, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the only one I want to wear. And I won that Pedersen jersey in the mystery jersey for hockey jerseys, and like that's the only one I want to wear, and that's so cool that they took a ugly ass uniform that felt
Right.
half-assed and incomplete and rushed, and fucking put some value behind its name and behind its look, and that's incredible to me, and that's what I want. I want them to wear it. I want them to wear those colors. And Andy, I don't give a shit about the skate right now. The skate wasn't captivating our hearts. The skate is a jersey that looks cool once every 10 games. But if they bring that out, it ain't going to be cool much longer.
Sorry, I'm just
Uh
telling Katie. I'm just telling Katie not to bring on the skate jersey I bought for you.
oh.
No, it's okay. Okay,
No
I'll
knock.
say
No knock.
no knock. I agree. I will say, I think I'm a vibes guy, and I absolutely understand the vibes that the Orcas have. I kind of want in my baby brain thing in the back of my head. I'm like, just go full NWO, man. Just full on. Just be the guys. Just be the Just be the NWO. Just
But
like
then this team's not the NWO. The city's not the NWO.
yeah. Wait till there was a comment before. Wait till Petey's dealt for Brady Kachuk, pal. Then we're full NWO. You kidding me? You telling me Brady comes in, 12 shots, 18 hits in one game.
Jack
The
Daniels.
PDO
Jim
the
Beam.
money
Oh,
puck,
shots on goal.
the money puck god, Brady Kachuk. He's his PDO. Like, there's no more PDO player than Brady Kachuk. It's gonna be crazy, Ryan. He's gonna go full NWO. But anyway, until the off season, listen, man, fucking riot, and like even getting up for these post game shows, you and me, like just talking about this team, as long as we have, and we've had these moments where I'm terrifying my girlfriend upstairs by screaming, and my mom thinks we're having a heart attack, and you know Ryan, like I've always known you've had this emotion in you. I've always known, like, you've legitimately, like, this is when we call you the Podfather. I think you really need to let that sit, in that you've you've taken on so much of, like, there's this hilarious idea of, like Steve Dangle, and who's like the Canucks Steve Dangle, and like, just because I yell, that's one thing. I think when I think of the person that bears the torch of what the legacy of Canucks fandom is in a modern aspect, it's you in my mind. Like that, I've always thought, like, you're the Podfather, and how many people in this, not to blow up Ryan's ego too much, but I think, yeah, it's really great for the listeners, and it's really great for our people, our fans, to get this guidance, because I think, Ryan, honestly, like, I think a lot of the post game shows are probably going to talk about, yeah, the X's and O's, and yeah, and we want to talk about what, yeah, not to bring up Jason Botchford in any other way beyond respect, to talk about what Jason was most interested in. It wasn't the Vancouver Canucks, it was Vancouver Canucks fans. And that's the thing. That's who we are. And as much as I've tried to separate, um, myself from being that, emotional person, that's not, one of the most difficult things to do. It's literally one of the most difficult things I've had to do, is like look at things impartially and be like, yeah, this, when I'm looking in the eyes of my parents, and I'm looking into, I'm talking to you about games, and like talking about your wedding and all this stuff. So for Canucks fans, um, fuck, it was a hell of a ride. And I think this is the first step. Everyone is going to come at you and tell you this is their peak. This is the greatest, in the apex bubble. And I'm like, just wait. This is what we said of 2 years ago when we said, "Oh, maybe the bubble run was the best it was ever going to be," and then, "Oh, maybe Bruce Boudreau, the Bruce run was the best it was ever going to be."
Yeah.
Like it's going to change, and you have the ghosts of past are no longer having the hands of the wheel of fate that drives the Vancouver Canucks. Those hands aren't on the wheel anymore. There are new people guiding this organization, and they showed you in this first year, in just this first year, what they could do to make to make this team relevant again, to bring this franchise at least back to a place where it's not associated with, yeah, we ran out of time. Yeah, no, it's like, we live day to day. Yeah, I'm sorry about PK Subban. I didn't mean to talk, but that's what we lived in, Ryan. That's what we lived in.
And now we're at a point. Now I'm at a point where, like, if we were joking on the Pucks on that Discord, like, who would be the funniest person to do the siren? And I'm honestly like, if dude, based on this run, if Jimbo showed up with a tall boy Canucks goal line logger, he wouldn't get booed.
Yeah, he wouldn't get booed.
And it took so much.
Oh, I don't know.
No, like
I think it needs one more year, and it just needs.
I honestly, I don't think so. Also, based on the conversation in the chat, I take any Dangle comparisons to be a great compliment. I think Steve does an incredible job breaking down games and churning out things. He may not be the best insider for any 3-on-3s, but I consume a lot of his content. So
that guy turned videos from his room, probably living with his parents or his first year university thing. He turned that into what he is today.
Yeah,
with nothing but passion for his team. That you can't say what you want. You're not going to go to Steve Dangle for money puck, left wing lock, natural stat trick, analytical. He's not doing the PDO cast. Okay, he's doing his own thing, and there's a Steve Dangle in every one of us in a sense. It just depends, if you have a microphone, a camera in front of you, and how good you are with having a spouse that's okay with screaming. Oh wait, did he have that soundproof room? Is that the thing?
I think so.
That'll save his marriage for sure, dude. Oh, amazing! I should maybe invest in that.
And that's another thing. Like, this has been like a whirlwind month of doing these shows, and one hell of an undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you don't want to see them end. And it was so much. It was so much work, but it wasn't hard. And so that's the other sad thing to go, like, to just come on here and break these down, and like we're just in it, like, up till 12:30 on a school night, buzzing because of a good win, and we're talking about it, and the chat's going off, and we're all having a great time. Like, yeah, that's something I will miss, and I hope that we kind of, based on how much fun we've had doing this, I'd love to see something next year, some sort of streaming element in some other capacity. But like, it's I think just having to intensely take all the games in, and contextualize them and vocalize them, and have a in-depth conversation or rant or whatever about these games to one another just made it so much more impactful. Like, I can't tell you what happened in I could tell you what happened in Game 4 against San Jose in 2011, because Sammy Salo got 1,000 power play shots on goal, something the Canucks couldn't do, which is why this was so sad.
They had a Sammy Salo. They literally had one. They had fucking Philip Hronek. Philip Hronek should have just left. Dude, he did, but he should have just let. He should have done the Salo thing that the Sharks did. He should have literally left the zone and then went back into it and just one-timed it. Oh my god, I know we're getting into the minutia of it, but like
But
fuck the special teams, right? The special teams. Oh
I
my
couldn't
god.
tell you what happened in a lot of those games, but like we have this encyclopedic memory of all these games and the ups and downs and the storylines, and we can remember, game 3 against Edmonton will just live that much more boldly in our minds because we've had to break it down in the ways we have. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's something I'm appreciative of, and missing I'll miss like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean it was looking back, this is like the first brick, and I think a pretty good story that's gonna line up for the Vancouver Canucks here. And yeah, I'm really stoked to kind of see what happens and moving forward with the offseason and everything. Oh my god, I have to go to Twitter. I'm not gonna get boomed. I'm not gonna get boomed. Absolutely no way. I'm gonna go into there's no way. Yeah, there's no way they're announcing injuries. Um yeah, Ryan. What a crazy long weekend. I'm so tired. I literally worked all weekend, and I had two of like the most deflating Canucks games, just to really stamp it out. Random
Random
Aussie.
hello from Australia. You guys were up 3 games to 2. Where did you go? Where did it go wrong for you guys? It's where the Vancouver Canucks were scared shitless to try any offensive opportunities, and they got about 30 shots on goal over about 9 periods. So
Yeah, and their
that's the
power play
main
completely
problem
died.
there.
Yeah, their power play died after game 3, which is crazy. It's just like it's actually
Andy
crazy.
L, I guess I'll just submit a bunch of sauce it or toss it through the mail. Okay, Andy, give us 3 sausage or tossets in the chat, and we'll go through those right now. We need some sausage or tossets in the chat. Sausage or tossets in the chat. Here we go. There's no sausage or tossets in the chat.
Randy.
You know what they're gonna, you know what I'm
Ants.
gonna do now?
No sauce or tosses in the chat, Ryan. Do we
Here we
sauce
go.
or toss it?
Sausage or toss it. Sadine's coaching both power plays.
Yes, for the love
Sauce.
of God. Sauce,
Big
please.
sauce.
I hope they just don't copy Newell Brown's homework that they had. They're like,
There was a
hey, no, they're like, sorry, they're Daniel and Henrik. Don't worry, guys. We graduated a couple years ago. We have the playbook. We'll just give it to you because the curriculum probably didn't change. Oh, the drop pass. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay.
The drop pass was so deep they were drop passing at the fucking goal line and they still weren't
Crazy.
getting out of the blue line. It was so bad.
Oh my God, it was so bad. Jesus. Andy with
Todd
sauce.
Smith in the chat. Sauce it or toss it. Garland taking the puck from Petey to score.
What does that mean?
Are you saucing or tossing that?
What? Oh, like he took the puck away from Pedersen to score?
They both had the opportunity
to. Listen, man. If there's any like, I need to have a Elias Pedersen detox like episode. I think like we anyway. Yeah, Garland. What
I'm saucing it. He knew what he was capable of and the momentum.
Like he was looking at Petey and be like, just give me the goddamn puck. Like you're getting paid fucking 3 times as much as me. Just give me the fucking puck. I'm gonna fucking get it.
Sauce or toss it, and yeah, at least one player who wins the cup this year signs with the Canucks on a team friendly deal.
I wonder who it might be, Ryan.
OVL?
I wonder what certain right-handed defenseman who's on a very good team that is playing outstanding defensive hockey,
and
who
won't
may
be able
or may
to
not
afford him,
or is just going to say, "I just want to come back home to be
I'll
with
sauce
my
it.
kids.
Chris Tanev.
Chris Tanev, baby.
Okay, next one. Number 1, who do you get rid of? Number 2, who do you bring in? Number 3, need new coach.
Dear Random Aussie,
Right.
thank you for no, just wait. Just
Make
wait,
sure
please. I'm sorry.
make sure they subscribe and like too. Tell
Okay.
them that.
Hi, Random Aussie. Please subscribe to our podcast and our show. Please leave a like. That's great. Thank you for asking the sauce and toss it question. Ryan, before the show, just wanted to make sure that we didn't get into too much future baiting. So I'm really glad that someone prompted me so I can get into future baiting. Number 1, who do you get rid of? Who don't we get rid of?
Philip Hronek.
Philip Hronek, Ilya Mikheyev, Sam Lafferty,
Ian Cole.
I think you bring Myers back. I kind of think you bring on a 2-year.
Casey DeSmith.
Casey Smith.
There's 5.
Sorry, Casey. That's 5. What other RFAs there are?
I'll take that. I think those 5 are
we'll
good.
Just take 5. Who do you bring in? Well, we just
fast
talked
guys.
About fast guys. Chris Tanev doesn't need to be fast. That's the one thing. He doesn't need to be fast. 2, the dream scenario I've been pitching to everyone, and I'll explain it very quickly, is Martin H's for Philip Hronek, because Brent Burns is getting into his 40s. Jalen Chatfield and Brett Pesce are leaving the Carolina Hurricanes, and the only prospect of predominance they have on the right side is Scott Morrow, and Scott Morrow probably still needs a little bit of time. So why don't you get Philip Hronek on a fucking 6-year, give him a little tidy deal, and he can just play in Carolina where they don't care about masks. And 3, do you need a new coach? Absolutely not.
No.
But maybe you take the power play away from him, and you say everything outside of the power play is Daniel and Henrik. You do the systems, but Daniel and Henrik get to have fun on the power play. That's it.
My dad. I sent the StreamYard link to my dad, and he said, "I'll pass." Like a true dad.
Yeah, pal. He's probably like 15 Millers deep, listening to fucking CCR or something.
Andy
Here
L.
comes the Justice. 1, 2, 3.
We talked about the RFA UFAs returning. Let's go to the next one. KCA. Why sauce or toss? Zadorov back for Hronek's price tag. I don't know what the price tag is. I don't know. I don't know what the current. Oh my God! My dad just texted back. I just smoked some.
Sick, dude. You got to. I'm waiting to take my edible. That's on the. Actually, wait. Yeah, you go ahead.
Sauce or toss? Okay, I don't know what Zadorov's current price tag is, but I absolutely love Nikita Zadorov. I want him back on our team at a fair cost, under $6 million. If Nikita Zadorov makes under $6 million, I'm happy.
Okay, we gotta Ryan, go. We got 30 minutes before things get weird.
Yeah, that's good. Andy L. 3, 4. I don't get this.
Okay. 3 forwards that have injuries. 2. Oh, okay, Andy. I have no idea what this means either. Andy. Phrasing. Sauce or toss it. A certain Chicago. Yeah, Casey. Listen. This is the thing. We know people have been listening to the show when they bring stuff up. Guys, this is the other thing. This is the nuclear thing that people don't get. Is that Connor Bedard has like vehemently never like shied away from the fact that he's like, oh yeah, I'm my entire dream is to play for the Vancouver Canucks. I love the Vancouver Canucks. This is my city. I love it, and I want to win a cup. There's a ticking timer here where it's like, hey, I really don't want to play with Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno's nice, but I don't want to play with Nick Foligno. I also don't want to play for a trash organization like the Chicago Blackhawks. Sweep everything under the rug and just assume that they're not the problem. So, like, that's whenever you, like, I'm gonna tell this right. Whenever you get that little thing in the back of your head that wants to give you the anxiety, just know that he's coming. He's coming. Our Joe Sakic is coming home. Like, he's coming home.
Yeah.
And he's going to sign for like 12 years. He's going to be like, yeah, I'm good. There's no other team I want to be a part of. I just want to go to the Dairy Queen in Lynn Valley again. That was a really good Dairy Queen.
He didn't eat fast food. Sauce or toss it from Roger. Shilovs is the backup goalie next season. Big absolute sauce. And I'm excited for the platoon approach, which is needed.
I got a question for you. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Next time we see Andrew, I'm gonna bully him physically.
See him at the wedding.
Sakic never wanted at the wedding. Sakic never wanted to be here. You don't have a good grill guy. Anyway, that was my favorite meme. Is that
Andy L. bonus sauce it or toss it, and we haven't heard the thing in a second. Pomegranate pizza starts at Canucks Pizza of the Month.
Yeah, we only give you 1/5 of the slice, and we say it's good enough. That wasn't enough to fill you up. Better should have given you 6. Yeah.
Hot Action Podcast, toss it or toss it. I shaved this stupid beard tonight.
No.
Keep it. You look good,
you look
Matt.
so good, Matt. Matt, you look so good. Hey, quick sauce or toss I'll give to you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Archer Shilovs, does he make more than $2 million on his next RFA bridge deal?
No.
Oh, that's a good sauce and toss, isn't it? Oh,
1.6, I'd say about 1.6, because he's an RFA and they just are just milking that.
Yeah, they'll give him 1.75 and be like, okay, you're 2-year bridge, and we'll see how you do.
Andy L. sauce or toss it. We find out more than half the roster have injuries. 2 are bad enough they won't start next season.
Oh, toss.
I'll
2 that are bad enough that they won't start the next season.
Plot twist, Thatcher Demko.
Okay. Thatcher was literally going to be back Thursday if they had gotten into round 3.
Yeah, that's true.
I think with the injury thing or the injury bug, it's like, okay, they're not all like just totally landing on landmines and stuff. Like they're, this isn't the 2011 final where Kessler, and Ehrhoff were like walking wounded. This was the second round, and they had a really tough series in the first round, and the second round was relatively, not as physical as the first.
Del, DEL in the chat, please make sure you're liking this video and subscribing if you're going to ask such jarring questions. Toss or toss, Canucks will never win the cup.
Toss strictly because time. No, I'm tossing because time is a really long. We're talking about the National Hockey League has been around for what 110 years or whatever, something like that. Mm-hmm. Canucks have made the Stanley Cup final 3 times. You want to know why? They joined in '67. So every couple
67.
Did they not join in '67?
70.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I am new to this province and country. This question about the Vancouver Canucks was not on my knowing Canada quiz when I came here. Joke's on you, Ryan. How dare you? I was
Mark Smith in tears of our goalie and team. And they like Albertans. I don't dislike Albertans. I spent my formative years there. Got no gripe about them. So it'd be nice to see them keep going, but I have thoughts of how that series will go.
This is the sweet. Well, sorry, Mark Smith. Can you bring up Mark Smith's thing?
Mark Smith, can you like this video and subscribe to our channel?
Yeah, that'd be great. But Mark Smith, this is like the sweetest message I've ever seen in my entire life. This is like, you have not been weathered by the bitterness that it consumes us. This is like the nicest thing I've seen written on the internet in so long.
Agreed.
That's so good.
Sauce or toss. Demko finally gets played at a reasonable workload moving forward. 100% sauce.
What's a reasonable workload for Thatcher Demko, Ryan?
48 games.
48? I'd say like max 55.
Yeah, I'd say
max
somewhere
50.
between that and 50 to 55 games. And just, they aren't reliant on him like it's the be-all, end-all. Joke from Hot Action Pod about your pizza, your Canuck of the Month pizza. 1/5 of the slices has sauce. That's hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
And then they say Arash dumps the pizza on you from the bar top. Sauce or toss. 26-year-old right shooting defensemen have only been in the playoffs once.
Okay, I don't. Can I Can I have 30 seconds real quick, Ryan? Guys, I'm getting really tired of this experience thing. They don't these like as soon as the playoffs start, they don't turn into junior midget players. Like, yes, experience has a point to it, but if you're going from 45, 50 point defenseman to fifth or sixth defenseman because the experience, you can't label everything with experience. Like, you can't be like, well, they don't have experience in that. Well, they've also been playing the same game for all their lives. So to an extent, like, just don't label everything with the experience banner.
Geek Joe, sauce or toss. Time for the Canucks to have more strength training, less booze, and more juice. By juice, you mean steroids. I'll take that.
Ryan, he's never gonna not be the juice.
Josh Barkov.
Rest in piss, boy.
Did anyone else think Edler could have played tonight? Yeah, he could have worn 82.
Dude, I literally was like, what is he doing? Is he in the concourse? Like, could we just give him some skates? Like, at least Eagle. The one thing about Alex Edler he was so good at was at least he would get pucks on net.
Yeah.
He would at least be able to, like, do this, like, shot through a bunch of traffic. God bless him. It always was in the chest protector, but, like, he got pucks on that.
Casey, sauce or toss. Sheloff's shirt, third jerseys. Well, considering my crusade against the skate, bring him in.
Can I say something? Our really good friend, Matt DeBoer, actually he has one of the Shelov's shirts with Shelov's 31 on the back.
Did he add that on? Because I saw that somewhere.
I think he stitched it on. I think he must have gotten, like, a Shelov's nameplate, and then he went and he stitched it on. And it looked great. I was like, this is so good. And I think he wore it in North Van, and it just.
And then I lost. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks a lot. Boo.
Sauce or toss, shorten the season to 75 games or less.
Oh, God, yeah, please. Jeez, 82 is
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, 82 games is way too much. I've been saying it just for. That's Canucks Twitter's ass. Look at him go. What's he doing? Sometimes when Ryan opens up that thing, I'm just, like, wondering what the hell is going on. Oh, he's grabbing a shirt. Look at him go. Big Rye, the Canuck guy. Hi, Ryan. What were you doing?
I went to grab one of our Pucks on Net t-shirts.
The sickest shirts in humanity. Oh,
we have every size. We have every size but large available. Oh, sorry, every size but medium. That's the front.
Look at the back. Oh,
here's the back. It's a sick shirt. If anybody's thinking, hey, after this tough Canucks loss, but they'd like a nice new shirt for the summer, these are 35 Canadian dollars, $15 to ship, 15 Canadian to ship to Canada, 17 to ship to the US, and 22 to ship around the world. But if you're saying, hey, I live in Metro Vancouver, I'll deliver it in a electric Kona, and man, I've got time to do that now. So, you want a shirt? Send us an email, pucksnetca@gmail.com, or DM us on our social media, or put your email in the chat, and I will. I'll email you immediately, and we'll get that order going. Okay, let's get through these. 75 games. I'd love a shorter season. There's always a dull bullshit time at the end. Sauce or toss, Nikita Tram can come back from the KHL. Absolutely not.
Dude,
He's awful.
Literally just, Rick Dollywall. Literally, as soon as you said Nikita Triamkin, like, I just see my inbox be like, they're talking about Triamkin again. I'm like, stop. Insane. Yeah, Ryan, your wedding's in what, a month?
33 days.
Oh, big boy. Look at you. It's gonna be
Sauce or toss, some BC politicians would have scored tonight better than the Canucks, like Bowen Mom, Brad West, and Elise Mills Solomon. Absolutely right.
Dude, there's nothing, dude. The fucking climate deniers fucking love it. Oh yeah, they look brilliant. They do. They feel great as well. Look at the guy with the wedding in 3 years. You don't. Ryan,
okay,
I don't know what you feel.
I'm feeling generous right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna if there's somebody that's been in this chat for a while that's enjoyed our show and wants a shirt, The first person that says that I want a shirt in the chat, I'll give you one for free, and I'll ship it to you probably tomorrow.
That's the way. The first person
No,
that
no,
writes,
no.
I want
Wait,
your
wait,
shirt.
wait. Cancel, 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 cancel.
See, now everyone gets to wait. No, wait, no. This is the problem now, is that now people are sitting by their keyboards ready to go, Ryan. So what's the thing? How do we give out this free shirt? Ooh, trivia. We should do trivia. Let me figure out here, Ryan. Can you talk for a few seconds and let me figure out a cool Canucks trivia thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair. I apologize. I apologize to the cats that want a shirt.
There's so many people that are like absolutely rizzed right now.
Todd, will
like,
you? Todd, will you buy a shirt? I can only give so many shirts away for free. You own a home. You can send me $35. There's a couple of you in that house. Got every size but medium. As Rash looks something up, Dell in the chat, Saucer Toss, do the Canucks progress or progress next season? I think I honestly think they will progress. I think there's so many positives that came from this, and this team has shown their abilities to, or this management group has shown their abilities to kind of tinker on the fly and kind of bring in, their pro scouting is, proving to be unmatched. And so I feel positive about it. Arash, do you have a trivia question ready?
Yes. Actually, I do. A very silly one. Can I ask?
Yep. So this is for a shirt, any size but a medium?
This is for a shirt.
I even have a 2XL.
2XL. This is for the shirt. The first person to answer the question, the first person to name the player that this is in reference to, wins the shirt. And it involves one of our favorite players, Ian Cole. Two players in Canucks history have worn the number 82. One of them is Ian Cole. Who is the second? Name that player. Oh, we're waiting.
82.
82. No, not Steamer. No. I'm not going to give any hints. Buzz
Grumplin.
No.
Craig Cox.
Not Chabarov. Craig Cox, no.
Buzz Lightyear.
No. Almost. You'd say he's pretty Buzz Lightyear now, depending on where he's playing. No, Trumpkin.
No, that's close though, Ivan. I quite like Ivan. They've been very kind in the chat tonight. I hope they win.
It's been great. I hope someone wins. I'm waiting for someone to win.
82. What year?
I'm not going to say. It's modern, but I'm not going to say which year because I think it gives it away a little bit.
I'm looking it up now. I'm cheating.
The number 82, guys. I can't believe no one's... This has been enough time for someone to literally Google this answer.
Guys.
I feel like in 10 seconds, if no one comes up with the answer, I'm going to change the number. So in...
5... Okay.
No, 10...
There it is, Dell.
There it is, Dell.
Dell wins a shirt.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your prince, Nikolai Goldobin, number 82 in your hearts, the man who came in from the, what was it, the Yannick Hansen trade. Yes, it was the Yannick Hansen trade. It was Nikolai Goldobin. Dell, email pucks at emailpucksonnetca@gmail.com with your info. Ryan will get that shirt to you.
And I will ship that shirt out tomorrow, any size but a medium, so let me know. And I'm already going to the post office, so if anybody wants to buy a shirt, I can make this a more I don't know, industrious, a small XL. There we go. Dell, send me an email with your your mailing info, and we'll get that to you. And if anyone wants to buy a shirt, again, 35 Canadian, $15 to ship in Canada, 17 in the US, and the 22 internationally. And we are losing money when we ship, but we want to get these shirts to you, so that's cool. Andy, are you accepting memorabilia? Okay, what do you
Always.
got? Rash, how
Okay,
much more
Andy,
time
what
do
do
you
you
got before your edible kicks in?
I mean, my fridge is right there, so I really don't like. I got ice cream in the fridge. I don't care. I don't care if like I'm gonna show up with a bowl of ice cream. Katie's gonna be like, "What were you doing last night?" I'm like,
I want to
"Listen,
hear
guys,
what Andy's looking for a trade.
I'm curious what this memorabilia is.
Yeah.
Dude, I love if like people have crazy stuff they want to trade. I love bartering. It's I have your glasses, I have your hat. Oh, go Rangers! Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a time to be alive, guys! What a time to be alive. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm just like coming off the lows of the lows. Trading card that is perfect for the winner of the pawn fan. Trading card. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Andy. Don't. Oh no. What's he gonna do? Oh, what's Andy got?
Andy, what's your
Um
size? Andy, send
right.
send me an email, pucksnetca@gmail.com, and we can talk, but I think we can work something out.
Yeah.
Um,
What else do you want to do, Ryan? We've been almost at 2 hours at
no,
this.
it's time to go. This has been a journey of ups and downs, emotional highs and emotional lows. Um, it's been a Rash. I love you to death in this doing
Love
this
you
show.
too, God.
This show was such a treat to do, this post game show, and I think the undertaking was the best idea you had, and it was the right idea, and I absolutely loved it, and I look forward to I look forward to a break. Um, but I'm also gonna absolutely miss it. But you did such a good job,
Dude,
and
we're
we had
gonna
such a
record an actual episode tomorrow. We're just like
maybe
whenever
Thursday.
maybe Thursday. That'd be nice. But yeah, just Ryan, love you too, guys. What a run! It was great. It's a first stepping stone to hopefully a lot of great things. Looking forward to the off season. They're gonna keep working at this roster. They're gonna do fun stuff. It's never boring with Patrick Elvan and especially Jim Rutherford. They have a front office in really in place. They have their coach. They have the people in the Abbotsford kind of organization. Jeremy Colton is a question. We're going to see kind of what's happening there.
I'm ending this on a breaking news. Holy shit. Guys, this is the biggest breaking news of the Pucks on It post game show, and we are leaving this show on an absolute high note. 1 second.
Connor Bedard has requested a trade.
The biggest problem with this Canucks playoff run is that it could interfere with my bachelor party. And one of the key invites of this bachelor party was the radio voice of your Vancouver Canucks, Brendan, the Beast Bachelor. And with him not having to work anymore, he just let us know in the group chat that Andrew joked bachelor party status updated to likely, to which he says, just booked my flights, baby.
You can't that anytime that guy can go to Vegas. Let me tell you. He went for that. What is it? When we were young. Remember when he did that in like one day? What a mad.
By God, that's Brendan Bachelor's music. Listen, it's time. It's guys. It is time to go. We're gonna do a podcast in a couple days. I can't believe what a Game 7 defeat post game show could turn into, but it was something special, which is what I think this show is, and what everybody that consumes it is. And man, this was a journey. This was a very special kind of run in our lives, and we're not stopping here.
There's gonna be more. Don't worry. There's gonna be more.
But this is a 2-hour
run through every anxiety you have. What if Demko gets injured again? You have Archer Shilos. What if Elias Pettersson doesn't show up? You got other players. They showed that they could get to round 2 with Elias Pettersson not even showing up. And it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. They're gonna do good stuff, and they're gonna do if crazy stuff does not happen this summer, I'll eat a shoe. There's no way they're gonna go sign like one depth guy. They're doing crazy stuff. Dude, I'm sorry. I just want to say this. There's that shot of Patrick Alvan just like up there looking like fucking WCW Sting. And he's just like, do I go down there with the baseball bat? No. And he's just, him and Rutherford are like, yeah, there's like, here's the 5 guys we're going to keep. Everyone else, just fucking yeeting him off a fucking bridge. It's going to be great.
Yes, that is exactly what will happen. And it's going to be one hell of a journey. But for the Prince of Pomegranate to my camera left, my name's Ryan. Here's a photo of Rick Tocchet with his shirt unbuttoned, and you can see his chest hair and his chain. That's a great coach. And here's one more shame thing for Arash. He correctly picked the Oilers. He goes 3 for 4 in the second round picks. My name's Ryan Chapman. For the last time this year, here is our fucking sassy saxophone. Good night, everybody. Please drive safe.